So it occurred to me only a day or two ago that in my in my life I've had extended participation in three churches, right? There's been little ones here and there, but basically three. All three have had catastrophic failures, and all three catastrophic failures were either unwillingness or inability to successfully confront failure of leaders. Like, leader has so much leash or so much power, or not necessarily even just power, because that's too crude of a term, okay? But even so much riding on their shoulders that's like, well, if we took this person out, would we have anything left? Right? If we took this leader out, would the institution or the organization even survive? Or will the thing just capsize and we end up selling the building and dissolving the thing, right? Now, some people might be tempted to think, oh yeah, but that's just churches. Well, listen, churches typically last 2 or 3 times longer than businesses do, as far as I can tell. I mean, I don't have a statistic, but anecdotally, I've seen churches last 20, 30, 50, 80, 100 years. Very few businesses last 25 or 50 or 100 years. And there are a lot of leadership lessons that you can learn from churches, because everybody's had a boss who was an asshole, right? But you had to work and you had to show up because you were getting a paycheck and you needed your health insurance and you needed your groceries. Well, nobody stays with a small group leader in a church who's an asshole, right? Because nobody can make you stay, right? Churches are run by volunteers. So churches inherently require a higher level of leadership skill to run than businesses do. So you can learn a lot by being a part of a faith community, by studying how they do, what they work. The Catholic Church, for all of its flaws, and I'm not a Catholic, but it has lasted 2,000 years. As far as I can tell, it's the oldest institution in the planet. Well, I don't know. You got to give them some credit for holding the thing together. Again, considering like all of its flaws are very public, right? It's not like it's even a secret, right? And so, those of us who...
It is in Ireland still.
Oh, it is? Okay.
Yeah. Nobody's done anything in Ireland.
Well, I'm glad your country is still snow white and pure and everything.
So they think.
Right. So anyway, but like you can think of a church as a business that runs on a different set of rules than a somewhat different set of rules than most businesses, but really most of the same principles apply, most of the same leadership, all the rules of money and finance and accounting and everything, they're all pretty similar. So, you would do well to pay attention, and so you can understand why people wanted to believe Louis C.K. When whatever level of denial was going on. And you can understand why people wanted to believe Bill Hybels, because it's like, well, if you work for the guy, if this comes out, like, oh my goodness, like, how many of us are going to lose our jobs? And is the whole thing going to fall apart? And Wouldn't it be better if we just worked through this privately and didn't hurt all those other people out there? Like, does everybody really need to know about this? And you go through all of these questions. So it's really hard. And now, um, church where I grew up, they were never willing to take the poison pill and deal with the bad behavior. And so the bad behavior has gone on and gone on and gone on and gone on. It's still going on right now in a church that is it's a shadow of its former self. Like it's just deteriorated. It's sickening to watch it. Well, this can happen in businesses too. It's no different. Um, like in your business, if there are chronic problems, are people allowed to complain about them? Are people allowed to confront you about them? Or are they not? You know, you probably don't know unless you ask.